Today's video is all about fitting a Gates Micro V belt kit onto a BMW 1 Series. It's a 1 Series 2 litre diesel on a 2009. The engine's a N47 and it has electric power steering rather than hydraulic. So because it's got the electric power steering, you get an extra idler pulley. The belt consists of a double-sided 6V belt, so that's driven on both sides. The belt length is 1698mm, I think. You get a tensioner in the kit, brand new tensioner with an idler on it. It's already preset. You get a 80mm idler for where the hydraulic power steering would have been fitted, and you get a 50 or 55mm idler as well. So that's what comprises of the kit. You can buy all these parts individually, but it works out slightly cheaper if you buy it as the kit. And it's not being funny, why would you just replace one bit? You might as well replace everything. Everything's wearing at the same time, so I'm now gonna start working on the vehicle. Right, this is the N47 BMW 2 litre diesel engine. To do this, I've had a quick look in the Haynes manual. It's telling me I need to remove this plastic shroud on here, which is held on with a couple of bolts, torque screws there and there. Obviously I'm going to remove the engine cover because that'll get me better access down there. Also need to remove the coolant fan off the radiator, which I'll show you about that in a minute. And to remove the coolant fan, they say you need to remove the airbox. I'll be removing these bits, and we'll see if we can get the fan out, and then we can get access. As you can see, it's very tight down there to get to the drive belt. Right, just going to remove these torque screws. There's only two to hold this on. And you just pull it forward. There you go, that's it. You then need to remove this cover here, which is just a straight away. We're already starting to get a little bit more access. Now it's time to remove this bit here, this ducting, and have the airbox out. Right, to get the airbox off, you will need to remove this plug which is on the MAF sensor. Just squeeze it and pull it off. You will also need to remove this hose. And loosen, take that screw out and that screw out. With this now disconnected and that disconnected, the airbox is now removed. Right, the next thing to do is the wiring off the fan. Obviously if you can take the fan out, you obviously get the wiring off. Another simple plug just unplugs. Now the only thing I think holding this in is a clip down there and one single screw there. That's another torque screw in there. It's a T25. Right, so all we now do is there's a little clip there. You flick that little clip somehow. And the whole lot just comes out. Right, what I've now got here is I've got a drill bit. It's just a little bit under 4mm. I've measured the pin on the new one and it's about 4mm, so think this is about 3.8, and that goes into a little hole under there. It's quite hard to get at. There you go, that's in there, look. Right. Then what you need is a big breaker bar with a 16mm socket on it. With that on there, you can then release the tension. Right, I've released the tension. As you can see, the belt is now slack and will come off. You need to remember which way this belt goes on. There you go, belt out. What we now need to do is get this pulley here, this cover has got to come off. So you can get at that, and then this cover on this one has got to come off. Right, both were done up with a 2T50 Torx. The top one, as you can see, as I undo it, there's a little, there you go, that's now out. That one is now out as well. And then that's the tensioner removed. This is the old one, but the peg there's obviously a peg on the new one as well. That peg obviously lines up with a hole in the engine, and that seems to be at the exact top, so it seems to be at 12 o'clock. So just a little pointer there, that obviously that's got to line up with its hole. Okay. Right, as you can see, I've now fitted the tensioner and the bottom idler. Right, I've fitted all the idlers now. I've even fitted the little cap on the 80mm one. The new 55mm one, or whatever it was, didn't seem to have a cap, so I've used the old one, and that clips straight back. That clips straight back on. Obviously I've still got the peg in the tensioner, and I'm now going to fit the belt. Right, we have the new belt fitted. It's quite a tight fit, even with the tensioner released. What you have got to make sure is that it's in all the grooves on the water pump, on the crank, and this one is the air con. Obviously the easy one is the alternator. Right, the next stage is to go back in there with your breaker bar, take the tension, pull the pin, and everything should be nice and tight. Right, so the radiator fan is all now back in. Don't forget to put that screw in. Don't forget to put your plug in, and also just make sure that everything is in them clips. That all latches in and locks in. Very simple, just clips in, to be honest, just one screw holds it. Right, that was just a check to see that the belt was going to squeak like it was before. It seems to have occurred, that issue, and obviously now all the belts are sort of self-aligned on the tensioner and the idlers. Just put the rest of the covers back on now. Right, that's the job completed. As you can see, didn't really take that long. Thanks for watching my videos, and maybe I can bring some more videos at some point on the 1 Series BMW.